idea that let's recognize and encourage incremental improvement all along the way, whether your building is among the least energy efficient buildings in the country or not. So in comparison to that, we've got the EnergyStar label and LEED certification. Green Globe also requires a high EnergyStar certification. How do you feel about the idea of so much of the market is talking about let's achieve the top, and yet there's 12 billion square feet of office space in the country, and only 3 billion of it is benchmarked. How do we get to the rest? Or how have you gotten to the rest? How have you managed improvement in your portfolios where the buildings are nowhere near qualifying for LEED or EnergyStar?
So one of the sages who's in the back emailing, so she will look up in a second, one of the mantras is, why aren't we paying more attention to the bottom, half, third, three quarters? And that's on the top. And spot on, because there's so much when you move a bad performer up, it makes a big difference. So, but to answer your question, I think it's both. The EnergyStar label has become like ubiquitous. When the EPA set out to do that on the list of things, it will be everywhere and people will know it. I doubt it. Maybe it was, but I doubt it. And so, but you ask, Joe or Sally on the street, when you go buy a toaster, do you look for the EnergyStar thing? People get it. And so, translating that from appliances over to office space and/or hospitals and/or built environment, bit of a leap, but it's starting to get there. People are using the EnergyStar label as a placeholder for, somebody's paying attention, somebody is more efficient. They don't understand what that really means, but they know that it's better than nothing. And so, focusing on the top and the people that are performing well and having the turkey for the refrigerator is relevant because you only have like a half second to get to somebody's brain on, we are as good or better than the person across the street. This is a placeholder for that. So that's the start. It's not the whole iceberg, but it's the start of it. How you then deal with, I'm looking at this, I'm benchmarking our buildings, and therefore I'm seeing that there are a bunch of them that are doing great. So, in our thing, it's 114 buildings, 19 million square feet. So I'm very excited about that. My people are very excited about that. But I'm just excited about the bottom performers moving them up because it's more statistically meaningful to the places where we work. The people that I report on and say, hey, you've got a 35, they don't like seeing a 35 when somebody else is a 95. So again, using kind of the right incentive, using the right carrot and stick to get that bottom up, very kind of important, and not frustrating people along the way, which I tend to do. How one gets there is important. So I think it's both. It's not one or the other. The placeholder is important though because it gets kind of brand recognition for people to pay attention.
I would echo everything that Brad said. It's both. But I will say the financial value enhancement from taking a bottom feeding building even to a 50 on EnergyStar is much more compelling. When I take a building from a 75 to an 82, I don't have near the financial impact in terms of energy savings that I do taking a building from a 35 to a 70, even though I haven't gotten a label. So we do focus on both as well. But I'll also say if you look at the average rating for our portfolio, when we started at EnergyStar 14 years ago to where we're at today, our average rating for our overall portfolio was a 48. And today it's a 90. So I think that does say something from a compelling nature about how we're performing for our portfolio. And we're finding it does resonate with tenants, but it also resonates with co-investors because we're investing our parents' capital, but we also have co-investors. And we see that as ultimately indicative and a mantra about quality operations, quality asset management, and that is getting valued in the market. Not necessarily per se on every asset sale, but in the overall value proposition that we bring to the real estate portfolio and to co-investors who want to invest capital in this.
And if I could just add from